At this point in the training kit, we're ready to begin adding some of the creases and the subtle wrinkles to the lips to give them a little bit more depth and just a little bit more dimension. Okay, so let's go ahead and start things off with Photoshop. Okay, and the area that we're going to be working with is right around this bottom part of the lip, around this border line. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is let's make a new layer, and this will be for the lip creases. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and leave it as this lighter color, but we're going to need to make some adjustments to our brush. Okay, and these really don't need to be super detailed little lip creases, so we really don't need to go in and spend the time fine-tuning this brush in the brushes palette. What we could do instead is just simply go up to this brush pull-down menu, and let's try to find a brush size that's suitable for what we need to do. So let's see what 2 looks like. 2 actually seems like it's a little bit big. Yeah, I believe 2 is going to be a little bit large, so we may have to go to a 1 pixel brush. Okay, that's what we're going to have to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and double check this brush that we have selected. We want to make sure that shape dynamics is turned on, so that way it tapers as I go, and that's really about all that we need. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to make our marks. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start by drawing some of these lip creases. Okay, and you probably want to make sure that you try to pretty closely follow the direction that these UV lines are going. So try to pay attention to that, otherwise these lip creases really aren't going to follow the direction of the lip. Okay, so we'll go ahead and continue drawing some of these. And like I said, when you're using a pen, this is going to go much faster than if you were using just a mouse or something like that. And also the fact that it gives you a little bit more control over the width of your stroke based on how hard you press. That's going to make definitely make things easier. Okay, so I'm not going to go all the way around just because you probably get the idea of where I'm going with this. But now what we probably need to do is go in and soften these up a little bit. Okay, so if I were to turn this off, turn the wireframe off, you can see these are pretty hard lines as they start. They don't really taper in or fade in at all. So what I'm probably going to have to do is switch to my eraser tool. Okay, and let's go ahead and go to the brushes palette with this eraser tool selected. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and link this to my pen pressure, link the opacity to my pen pressure. Okay, and also I've actually got the opacity up here set a little bit lower also. So with this setup, even if I press as hard as I possibly can, it's still only going to go at about 25% opacity. And that really gives me a chance to just really lightly taper these out. Okay, so I'm just going to go over these really lightly with my eraser tool and just start to fade out the top parts of this stroke and really just try and blend these in to the skin. Like I said, just so that these look a little bit more natural than what they probably would otherwise. Okay, so let's go in and grab these also. Okay, like I said, I'll go ahead and use my eraser tool and just work my way around. Okay, so let's take a look at how this looks. I'll go ahead and save this. Jump back to Maya. Let's reload this Photoshop texture. Okay, so now you can start to see where these lip creases are starting to come in. And since they fade pretty naturally up into the skin, this doesn't look too bad, and this will really look good once we start to get a bump map on this at a later point in time. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pause the video and just continue making these lip creases all the way around. And then in the next video, we'll start to add some further creases to the skin.